welcome to our Allround-PC YouTube channel. I'm Niklas and I've got Hank here. Hank, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Hank Kersey. I'm the military advisor for Call of Duty. I've been with the franchise since the very beginning.
Hank, you like to tell us something about your work at Activision?
Yeah, Nick, what I do is when they're making the games, the developers are very passionate about getting the details right. Details on how the equipment is worn, how the weapons are carried, how you call on the radio, how you dig a trench, where you put the machine guns in a defensive position. And what I'm able to do is see what they've got and make minor adjustments or give them information about how it should be done in the real world. I've got 24 years in the United States Army. I've had a couple tours as a contractor back over in the current unpleasantness in Iraq. So, I'm able to take what they think things should look like and say, no, this is what it might actually look, more of what it would actually look like.
Were there any specific difficulties in working with the Activision team?
There's not difficulties because these guys that make the game are so incredibly passionate to get it right that you make the suggestion and they work on it. Now occasionally you'll make a suggestion and say, hey, this is the right way this looks. The Javelin missile does not go quite that high and come down like that. It looks more like this. I said, yeah, but we've got this already arted up and it looks cool, and we'll leave it. One time I told them a smoke grenade that they're using would not smoke that way. It takes much longer to build up a smoke screen. They said the attention span of the average gamer, 15 seconds was too long. Got to have a quicker smoke screen, so we're going to make it smokier faster. So there are some compromises that have to be given as far as realism, but they know what sells the game, and I know what some of the equipment actually does.
Yes, you just spoke about realism. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, the setting is in the future. What's about difficulties with future weapons or future warfare?
Yeah, before in the World War II games, you know exactly what right looked like. You know if the Thompson submachine gun was accurately portrayed. You knew what one looked like. You knew what the tanks looked like, and so you had a viable basis to provide advice and criticism. When they go to the future warfare, even though it's 13 years from now, you look at the weapons they've got, and I'm scratching my head, say that pistol's got a foregrip, and it'd be too heavy to hold. Now we think that looks cool. We think that foregrip kind of gives it a futuristic look. I'd say, well, okay, you guys got that. And oh, by the way, a weapon that looks through, the scope that looks through walls. You really think we're going to have one of those in 13 years? Yeah. But now what they did is they took current technology that may be as big as a darn tractor trailer, and they surmised that in the next 13 years there'd be this tremendous geometric advance of technology, and you would have an electronic rail gun that you could fire from the shoulder, that you would have a scope that would allow you to look through, with multi-millimeter technology that allow you to look through concrete walls. So I'm not as good on the future because I haven't been there. I wanted to get the DeLorean and drive to the future, but my future is going to happen in a little while, and I don't know what's going to be.
Okay, so how close did you work with the team together? What's about how often do you visit the studio? What's about the feedback? Did that work well? Yeah,
it used to be about once every month I'm out, and I'll get a chance to visit the studios and field their questions on things. I'm always available on the phone. Now, I live in New York State, and they're all in California. But I'm always available on the phone conferencing. I'm always available to answer email if they got questions. So about once a month, I can get out there and actually see them. But I'm always, if they need me on the phone, pick it up. So work real well with those guys. Frankly, not as much in the more recent games because they've built on the knowledge I've given them on the first 4 or 5 games. There's not much difference when using an M16 or M4 carbine going and clearing a building versus the Thompson submachine gun in some of the techniques. So they've got accumulated knowledge base.
So, are there any aspects of warfare you didn't integrate in the game because you thought it's too violent or too heavy for the gamers?
No, I don't. They've got some pretty violent stuff in the game. What we don't, people talk about is the game realistic, and realism is going to the Gulf War in 130-degree heat on August 6th of 1990, and waiting till February 24th or 22nd of 1991 to finally attack, enduring incredible heat, sandstorms, lousy food, crapping in a 55-gallon drum, having that burned off with diesel. That's a lot of the realism. And of course, we've got an expansion pack that we can get out to address that realism piece to all the gamers if necessary. That's just actually a joke, an expansion pack.
Okay. So, which point would you like to highlight in the game, in the final version?
Yeah, the ones that's out now, I've just looked at it, and I think you've combined a futuristic, just near future experience of soldiering with a tremendous graphic effort to build the sets that look really accurate and dynamic. I mean, now the roadways are falling in on you, trucks are falling around. It's just the ultimate action film that you get to participate in as an individual soldier. Is it realistic to have that happen to you? I don't know that anybody else is ever going to have that kind of intensity in a firefight in the real world, but your gamers are going to get to experience.
Yes, that would be my next question. What point you think makes Call of Duty superior to other games? So I don't know if you're used to the game market, but it's really competitive. So what makes Call of Duty the best game?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the other games as well. I just hear things. I think it's probably the passion of the developers to stay true to to get things exactly right, and to work on, either it's animation or it's artwork or it's scenario or script, but they're not ever satisfied with almost good enough. They want to have the best out there, so that's probably what makes the difference. I haven't been inside the other studios. I haven't seen what they're doing over there, so I mean, as I understand it, there are other games that are almost as competitive, but this is the one that folks love.
When you introduced yourself, you just told us you worked 25 years for the military. So do you miss any aspects of that kind of work?
I do. You can't help but miss parts of it. You don't like the boredom. You don't like making PowerPoint slides. You don't like sitting in staff rooms, but you like the look of a paratroopers when you're standing in the back of the belly of a big airplane waiting to jump in the inky black night, and you see all those eyes staring at you, and you feel the adrenaline rush, and then the surge of the static lines as they cling against the darn post as everybody hurls himself out in the sky, and the oomph of guys falling on the ground and moving out to the target, and the dedication, the loyalty, and the commitment of young paratroops and Rangers as they endure hardship but put it aside as they close on their objective to take a hill. This is the kind of stuff, that's you miss that. Otherwise, in our normal life, I go out and split a little wood. I work on a deck here. I go out and advise on a video game. It's just not the same.
Have you been to Cologne?
I have been. I've been to Cologne. I've walked the streets today. I ran it. I took a bunch of the PR guys and some of the gamer guys and made them run around Cologne. We ran around the dome. We ran over the lock bridge there, all the little locks on it. We did push-ups in the grass. We did handstands in the grass. We jumped did box jumps on the edge of a fountain. Normal things that you do to the gaming community to make them tough and realize what soldiers do. So, yeah, I like this place. I like the beer, by the way. Keep up the good work with the beer in Cologne.
So my final question would be, what do you like about the fair in general?
What fair? This is called a fair?
This fair, this Gamescom.
I like it when it's over and I can go back and drink beer in one of your guest houses or bars. Yeah, that's what I like about it.
Yes. So Hank, thanks for your time.
All right, Nick. Yeah, keep up the good work. And, don't ever forget, physical training is extremely important out there, gamers.